Warsaw Collins, Trade Ambassador, International Facilitation Association. You're welcome to Network News.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you join us. Now let's look at it from a historical perspective. Before discovery of oil, agriculture, mining and other services was what was rejigging the economy and making Nigeria stay afloat. Along the way, we sort of lost focus. Now the focus is back to the non-oil sector. It has been contributing immensely to Nigeria's economy. Every state in this country has something to offer, and it is receiving attention now. But what is the value addition and what is the success story here?
I think, thank you for this. Really, it's important that we know where we're coming from. Because if we are not looking at our history, it will be difficult for us to pave the way in the future. What happened in the past when we had the granite pyramids, we had ginger all the way from, Kaduna to Wamba in Benue Plateau, showed that there were different things that could generate wealth. The discovery of oil made it easier, so it seems one commodity helped us to also generate wealth. So we set up NNPC, we set up NEPC, both at the same time. But what happened along the way was attention. What you give attention to is what grows. So attention was given to oil based on how it plays in the global markets, its space in industrialization, because that was the cusp of industry. We're moving from coal to oil, so the whole world was agog with that. And we wouldn't blame Nigeria so much because we always need to follow global trends. It's important to play a role in what's happening on the global scale. So if we learn from that is that we do not need to just play at that level. We also need to chart a course. The course being that we do not neglect things that generate wealth for us. So now we're going back to it and we're looking at some specific products. I think that may also take us back to where we're coming from. We need to look at what each state has. We need to pay attention to what they have and not become a mono agro economy. We started talking cassava, everybody focused on cassava. We started talking about rice, everybody focused on rice, because it seems those are the things you're giving attention to. No, we need to look at everything. You're looking at ginger, you're looking at cassava, you're looking at groundnuts, we're looking at taking advantage of what we have, because that's the way we would grow a sustainable economy. And not just in produce. Not just talking about gold, talking about the people as well. Because they're integral to developing export. And I think we've started making strides. We started having quite some successes. The Nigerian Bureau for Statistics tells us that about 80% of our businesses really are small businesses, and they drive the economy. So what we're seeing is that a lot more smaller companies, small businesses are putting together things that are putting us on the export map. So they may not be doing large containers, but technology like e-commerce and the small businesses are teaming up. So you have people exporting 1 kg of kuli-kuli, and it's increasing. So what we need to do to tap into these success stories that are coming out is to begin to create systems around it, begin to encourage the system. And I think the government has done quite a lot in that area, and they're doing even much more. The recent RT 600, which is encouraging exports so that you can repatriate the funds and earn more. Incentives. A lot of incentives are coming and being administered through the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Even the cabotage act that is being pushed forward. All of those add to the ecosystem of export, and I think it's great.
So what's the largest contributor, to national income now from the non-oil sector itself?
From the non-oil export side, it's still not commodities. We're still having scrap metals. We're still having ships. A lot of re-exports. So some of the things we import are being re-exported. Even our so that's one, but the second largest is for our non-oil export is services. Surprisingly,
really,
a lot of services.
And how is that?
I'll take you to Flutterwave and Paystack. Those are payment portals. Those are payment gateways. Those payment gateways provide services to people overseas and people locally, and you have to pay a token. So if you're buying something from Nigeria, you need to have a way of paying for it, and someone has to provide that service. So how do you pay? How does the person in the US pay the person in Nigeria for having bought 5 bags of ginger? You need a payment portal. So when people put these small businesses that are all over the place are putting their items on the internet and they're using e-commerce, someone is responsible. So you have Flutterwave, you have the likes of Paystack providing some of those services, and it goes in millions. It goes in a lot of millions. Now, on the other side of it is intellectually, the intellectual properties that are being developed. The intellectual properties that are being developed also helps. So somebody is behind the thinking that is driving the companies, and these people are sought after. So we have quite a number of people working from home now who are rendering services to companies overseas. So there's a massive growth in services providing, exports, foreign exchange. The gentleman that we watched on the clip said data is the new oil. It's true, because you